I rise to raise a very important matter which concerns India's parliamentary democracy and the constitution of the country. Sir, the recent developments late last year in December in Arunachal and then followed by Uttarakhand in January this year have shocked the country and invited not only adverse comment but censure from the Supreme Court of India and earlier the High Court of Uttarakhand in case of Uttarakhand. Sir, we all know that India is a constitutional democracy and the governments are elected through a popular mandate. They hold office in center and in states as long as they have the mandate and command majority in the House. There is a constitutional sanctity which elected governments are duty bound to respect. The governors of the states under our constitution, they hold office appointed to that position under the provisions of this constitution with the pleasure of the President of the Republic of India. The governor has to function when it comes to the executive functions on the advice of the Council of Ministers unless there is no government in office and there is a president's rule. The governor is also expected to respect the elected chief minister and the government of the day. Equally acknowledge and accept the advice of the Council of Ministers, its recommendations, even when with regard to the convening of the State Assembly. A governor is not supposed, sir, to interfere in the day-to-day functioning of an elected government in the administration or take decisions unilaterally for which there is no constitutional mandate a governor has. Sir, our constitution clearly therefore defines the role in case of center of the Rashtrapati and in case of states of the governors. Sir, if the governor acts contrary to the provisions of the constitution, that undermines the functioning of our parliamentary democracy. So both in case of Arunachal and later in the case of Uttarakhand, constitution was not respected. There was institutional impropriety. There was disrespect of the elected governments. There was also insult to the people's mandate. A governor is not supposed to meddle in politics or to undermine an elected government in office. But unfortunately, that has happened, which is a brazen violation of the constitution of our country. Sir, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi speaks of cooperative federalism. At the same time, the ruling party president talks of Congress Mukt Bharat. That is the official policy of the ruling party today. So it is not something which we are making. That's what they have said in their national executive. That's what their party president and their ministers say. In a democracy, even the mention of such an expression that we will rid the country of the principal opposition party and also unseat, topple the elected governments which are headed by the Congress itself is an insult to democracy and to the Constitution. Sir, there is a policy today being followed to destabilize by misuse of power, misuse of resources, and abuse of authority, the elected governments in office. The target are the Congress governments. सब कांग्रेस की सरकारें राज्यों में इनके निशाने पर हैं और वो हथकंडे अपनाए हैं जो शर्मनाक है। सिर्फ उनकी आलोचना ही करना अपने आप में शायद पर्याप्त ना हो। ये दोनों उदाहरण जो अभी हाल में हैं वो एक अपनी कहानी बताते हैं कि किस तरह से संविधान की धज्जियां उड़ाई गई और किस तरह से केंद्र की सरकार ने गवर्नर्स को एक पॉलिटिकल एजेंट के रूप में इस्तेमाल किया, वहां की सरकारों को गिराने के लिए, मुख्यमंत्रियों को बेइज्जत करने के लिए, ह्यूमिलिएट करने के लिए। एंड व्हेन द गवर्नर्स willingly become tools and agents to pursue or implement, to execute the nefarious agenda of the ruling party, the ruling dispensation, and the government in Delhi. That's exactly what has happened in these two cases. So first take the case of Arunachal. What happened was shameful. And the governor conducted himself in an outrageous manner, which is unacceptable. There, the assembly session had only concluded on the 21st of October. And on the recommendation of the chief minister, the governor had summoned the assembly for 14th of January 2016. But he prepones that, advances the assembly session, because some dissidents and the BJP MLAs represent and demand that, and in that process violates the constitution and destabilizes the elected government of Chief Minister Nabam Tuki. So what is important here to underscore, that the meeting of the legislators, the MLAs, the so-called, at whose behest the session was advanced, was not held in the assembly. First they went to a community hall, then they went to a hotel and bar. And that assembly was given the certificate of an assembly session being held. The governor decides that it is the deputy speaker who will preside over this crowd of or group of legislators, and they were given the legitimacy, or sought to be given the legitimacy, that this is an assembly session. माननीय उपसभापति महोदय, ये ऐसा ही होगा कि केंद्र में चुनी हुई सरकार है और कुछ सांसद आपके भी, अभी तो खैर अभी हिम्मत नहीं है, और कुछ और सांसद मिलके ताज होटल में, ओबराय होटल में मीटिंग कर लें और फिर चुन ले एक नया आदमी और राष्ट्रपति उनको बुला ले। क्या ये ऐसा हो सकता है और क्या ये स्वीकार्य है? पर ये हुआ, इसीलिए मैंने कहा कि शर्म की बात है जो वहां पर हुआ। उपसभापति महोदय, उत्तराखंड का घटनाक्रम भी अपने आप में एक कहानी है। कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म की बात करने वाले प्रधानमंत्री जी उत्तराखंड के अंदर आपने पहले तो अरुणाचल में जिस दिन ये सब कुछ हुआ और राष्ट्रपति शासन लागू हुआ, वो तारीख मैं बताना भूल गया। वो तारीख 26 जनवरी थी। ठीक 66 साल बाद जब भारत का संविधान लागू हुआ था और भारत एक गणतंत्र बना था, एक रिपब्लिक बना था। यह आपकी प्रजातंत्र में आस्था और फेडरलिज्म, कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म, जो नई परिभाषा देश को दी गई है, उसका एक उदाहरण था। उत्तराखंड में 18 मार्च की घटना, वहां असेंबली का सत्र चल रहा था, वोट पड़ी उत्तराखंड में। ये सही है कि 9 कांग्रेस के विधायक बागी हुए, बीजेपी के एमएलएस के साथ मिले, पर वहां वोट हुई, वोट ऑन अकाउंट हुआ, पास हुआ। 19 मार्च को वहां के राज्यपाल महोदय क्योंकि एक नई यहाँ पे अब इनका जो अभियान है सत्ताधारी दल के अध्यक्ष का, जिसका मैंने जिक्र किया, उल्लेख किया, कहा कि फ्लोर टेस्ट करो। विधानसभा का सत्र बुला लिया गया, गवर्नर ने, राज्यपाल ने मुख्यमंत्री को कहा अपना बहुमत सिद्ध करो। 28 मार्च को मुख्यमंत्री हरीश रावत ने उसको स्वीकार कर लिया, पर उसके बाद हुआ क्या? एक दिन पहले राष्ट्रपति शासन। You should have allowed the chief minister and the MLAs to take a decision. That is what the constitutional propriety is. The chief minister was not running away from the vote or to prove his majority, which subsequently was proven after a chain of events. Whether it was in the Uttarakhand High Court, that judgment did not open the eyes of this government. Came the very next day, Uttarakhand High Court made it absolutely clear that the proclamation to impose president's rule is open to judicial review, lifted the president's rule, again called for a trust vote. Again you come to Delhi, you go before the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court in disgust throws you out and sends you back to the Assembly, and the Assembly reposes its trust and confidence in the Congress Chief Minister and the Congress government, which continues in office today. You were unmoved. Prime Minister remains unmoved. This government, yes, you have majority, but majority does not allow you to topple, destabilize and insult elected governments. Your majority in the Lok Sabha does not give you any sanction to trample upon the Constitution of the Republic of India. That you must always bear in mind while in office. And if you will not, you will, as you are today, stand exposed and condemned for your agenda and for deeds what you did in these two states. Sir, मेरे बाद मेरे और साथी बोलेंगे, और ख़ास तौर पे जिन्होंने इसके बारे में सुप्रीम कोर्ट में और हाई कोर्ट में बातचीत करी है, कपिल सिब्बल जी। पर मुझे एक चीज़ कहनी है कि जो सब कुछ हुआ उससे इस सरकार की नीयत, इसका एजेंडा, इनका तौर तरीका, इनका संविधान में अविश्वास, संविधान का अपमान करने का गरूर, ये सब बातें सामने आई। मैं इस माननीय सदन में आपकी अनुमति से कुछ अंश पढ़ना चाहता हूं सुप्रीम कोर्ट के संविधान पीठ के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बेंच के जजमेंट का। ये 13 जुलाई का ऑर्डर है। Whereas the Constitution bench has said that the governor cannot act as per his whims, the Supreme Court censured the governor of Arunachal Pradesh for humiliating the elected government of the day. In a historic judgment, it restored for the first time the government and the status quo ante. So after Uttarakhand, that was a wake-up call. You did not actually wake up. You thought that you could get away with all actions which are unacceptable, not permissible under the Constitution in our democracy. So let me quote verbatim few excerpts of the Constitution bench which gave a unanimous verdict in this matter. By a unanimous verdict, the Constitution bench circumscribed the power of governor and held that Raj Khoba, the governor of Arunachal Pradesh, messages to advance the assembly session in December and to decide the manner of conducting the assembly proceedings were violative of the constitutional provisions, and that he could not have acted without the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. That is what the Constitution says, sir. The bench laid down that a governor cannot have the freedom to determine when and in which situation can he take a decision at his own discretion without the aid and advice of the Chief Minister and his Council of Ministers. He can act without the aid and advice only when a government has lost its majority in a floor test, the court has said. Sir, this judgment also says that the Constitution does not allow any role to a governor to interfere in the activities of the Assembly, and therefore it would be outside the domain of his powers to fix date for an Assembly session or to decide how the Assembly functions. The Constitution bench also rejected Raj Khoba, who is the governor of Arunachal, arguments that he had to take note of the political turmoil and a spate of disqualification petitions filed by all sides. And this must be noted, sir. The court has said it needs to be asserted as a constitutional determination that it is not within the realm of the governor to embroil himself in any political thicket. The governor must remain aloof from any disagreement, discord, disharmony, discontent, or dissensions within individual political parties. The activities within a political party confirming turbulence or unrest within its ranks are beyond the concern of the governor. The governor must keep clear of any political horse trading. And it further says that the state legislature does not function under the governor. In sub and substance, I am quoting Supreme Court. That is a constitution-based judgment. I have every right to read. I am not commenting on, no personal comments on the conduct. Sir, it is shameful of the governor.
Parliamentary, horse trading.
That is Supreme Court judgment. That is Supreme Court judgment. It is verbatim account. Well, it could be.
No.
Could be.
But answer
Sir, sir, just a minute.
I'm not stopping you. Only point is, you need not mention the name of the governor. You say governor of the.
Sir, judgment mentions, sir.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I am just reading.
All right.
It's Supreme Court judgment.
Okay.
It's nothing of my own, sir. I won't take the name.
It's okay.
The state legislature.
Okay, please.
अभी बताएंगे ना अभी. I can authenticate and leave it here.
You tell us, you are quoting from which paragraph? I only request you.
अभी बताएंगे ना अभी.
You, sir.
अभी बताएंगे ना.
You, sir.
Irrelevant.
Sir,
Okay.
Please, sir.
I will authenticate and.
Yeah.
No,
I will
authenticate. It is not necessary. I only requested to Anand Sharma ji.
भूपिंदर जी बिल्कुल रखेंगे.
Sir, I requested to you, please refer the paragraph.
आपको भी
From which
पता है
paragraph,
क्या
sir?
हुआ है.
Sir, which paragraph?
ठीक है, बता
Because sir, in judgment,
Let him authenticate and give.
judgment में sir governor को personal criticize नहीं किया.
Let him
He read
authenticate.
the paragraph. Anand Sharma ji, you read the paragraph.
मैं बता
please,
दूंगा.
sir.
Bhupendra
Tell
Yadav.
me which paragraph.
मैं भी जिम्मेवार हूँ.
Let him
Sir,
authenticate
I
and
have
give
a
it.
copy of judgment. I want to see the paragraph, sir.
पैराग्राफ बता देंगे ना.
Sir, I have a copy. I want to see the paragraph, sir.
I am quoting the judgment as reported and published.
Sir, I agree with
and
you.
I will
But
authenticate
tell me
and
the
keep it
paragraph,
here.
sir.
It is enough you authenticate it.
ठीक है.
No,
he
not
can
that.
speak.
Even
That
not
is a
authenticate.
question.
He tell me the
No, I
paragraph,
told
sir.
him to authenticate.
I am not obliged to tell you. I will leave the.
I told him to.
I will leave the
I
judgment
told
here.
him to authenticate. That's enough.
Please.
That's enough.
I am doing what is correct. Why are you
That's
scoffing?
enough.
You stand exposed and
No,
damned.
please. Please
Don't
speak.
defend the
No, please
indefensible.
speak. You only raised a point. Why do
The
you
state
get angry?
legislature,
Why do you get
as I was
angry?
saying, sir, does not function under the governor. In sum and substance, the governor just cannot act as the ombudsman of the state legislature. The governor cannot be seen to have such powers and functions as would assign to him a dominating position over the state executive and the state legislature, the constitution bench. Sir, as I had said,
So now try to conclude, eh?
so I'm concluding in just a minute,
Yeah.
that there is an agenda, there is the Congress Mukt Abhiyan, the government stands fully censured, exposed and condemned. The Prime Minister is silent. Two judgments, historic judgments, restoration of elected governments, which in their Congress Mukt Abhiyan, वो गलतफहमी का शिकार है आप लोग कि ऐसा कांग्रेस मुक्त नहीं होगा। 131 साल पुरानी राजनीतिक दल है, बड़ी उतार चढ़ाव देखे हैं, बड़ी राजनीतिक लड़ाइयाँ लड़ी हैं। हमके वहाँ उस सदन में नंबर कम हो गया तो गलतफहमी नहीं होनी चाहिए कि आप लोग हमेशा के लिए इतने बड़े होकर आ गए। पहले आप भी सिमटे थे, सिकुड़े थे, याद रखना, 2 पे रह गए थे। तो मुझे आपके माध्यम से एक चीज कहनी है कि जिस गवर्नर के खिलाफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बेंच की ये जजमेंट है, उस गवर्नर को क्यों नहीं हटाया, उसके खिलाफ क्यों कार्रवाई नहीं करी? इससे बढ़ के और क्या बात एक गवर्नर के बारे में कही जा सकती थी? मेरी सदन में मांग है उपसभापति महोदय आपके माध्यम से कि उस राज्यपाल को बर्खास्त किया जाए, उसको निकाला जाए। अगर वो अपने पद पर बना रहता है, इसका मतलब आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बेंच का अपमान करते हैं, संविधान का अपमान करते हैं। मैं इतना ही कहकर अपनी बात को विराम देता हूं।
देश को बचाने की जिम्मेदारी मैं किस पर डालूं? आडवाणी तो आपसे भी है बहुत चालू।